Every town has a ghost story that's been passed down through the generations. But what if those legends were true? My name is Miranda Young, and I'm the Ghost Biker. Hey everyone, happy Thursday night. You are watching the Ghost Biker Garage, and we're live here on the Ghost Biker Explorations YouTube channel, Ghost Biker Explorations Facebook page, and the LinkedIn channel, as well as Mix 104.1 My Mix TV. So just want to welcome everybody. I am your host, the Ghost Biker, and we are so excited to be here tonight. Got a great show. We've had a lot of great shows this year. If you missed last week's episode, we had the urban investigator himself, Vince Keelan, on the show, and we talked about Waverly Hills. We also talked about urban exploration and a lot of the cool things that goes along with that maybe, and the importance of it within the paranormal community and just within the historic community itself. So we had a great conversation. If you missed that show, I hope you'll go back, check it out. Also, if I know a lot of you just joined us on the Jailhouse Informant that was broadcast in the last hour. We've been highlighting jails from all across the country, and tonight we did something a little bit different. We highlighted our own jail, the historic Scott County Jail. So if you're planning an investigation of the jail or planning a tour just to see some of the stuff in our true crime museum and explore the beautiful county, Scott County, that I was born and raised in, hope you'll check out that episode. That was live on the historic Scott County Jail YouTube channel as well as Facebook page. It was a great conversation. We really enjoyed the conversation that we had with the folks in the chat room over there, and really just highlighting the history of the jail as well as what we've done over the past 2 years and some of our paranormal captures from there. We highlighted several other jails. Last week, we had the old Bryan jail there in Bryan, Ohio, and we had Austin Menard on, and maybe Austin Maynard, I'm not sure how he pronounces his last name, but he was on last week. He talked about that location as well as some of the others that he's had. And then in the upcoming weeks, we've got several jails. We're going to be traveling internationally. We're going to be traveling to Australia and to Canada over the next couple weeks. So definitely go on there and check those episodes out. That airs on the historic Scott County Jail Facebook page, YouTube channel, and also there on the website, and that's at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So if you want to spend the evening with Ghost Biker and the jail, come spend Thursday nights with me on both of those channels. Just want to say hello to the folks over here in the chat room. Thank you guys for spending your evening with us tonight. I know a lot of the East Coast here has been hit by this snowstorm that came through. I'm actually trapped here in my farmhouse, haven't been able to go to the jail. We haven't been able to be open other than just going yesterday and feeding Sally and checking on things. I'm pretty well snowbound here, and we've got a front coming through tonight. So if the service gets a little bit spotty, if we start lagging or anything, because we've got some snow and freezing rain coming down right now. So service could be a little funky at times. So just bear with us, because if we get kicked off, we will be hopping right back immediately if something does happen. So just want to say hello to a few folks over here. Hello, Sonia. Thank you for watching. Daryl Paulette, thank you. I've got to send you a message here very soon. I haven't forgotten about you. It's just been kind of crazy being trapped in here and trying to catch up on projects and stuff. Hello to Miss Susan Purcell. Thank you. Larry Eisler, just want to say congratulations to you on your engagement. We'll be talking about that and stuff here in a little bit too. So thank you for setting me up with tonight's beautiful guest. Steve White, thank you so much for tuning in. Good evening. Mr. Jim Cody over in Knoxville, thank you so much. Bob Burnell, It's good to see you again. Always a pleasure when Mr. Bob Burnell is in the chat room over here. Ronnie Anderson, hope you're doing well with Bedford Paranormal over in Virginia. Hope you guys are staying warm. And Shaman Sundays, Mr. Brandon Cooper, peekaboo to you. And thank you so much for watching. Hello to Deb. Hello to Janet. Wow, we've got a great group on here tonight. And we do really appreciate you guys not only watching, but asking questions and comments. I do want to make sure to mention, I am a one-person show and I'm doing the moderation and everything over here. If you guys have any questions that you would like for tonight's guest or for myself, please make sure to put those in the comments section. And if you will, please put them in all caps. I want to make sure that we don't miss you all. I know a lot of you guys know each other over here, and I love seeing the conversation and stuff going. And a lot of the time there's a lot of side conversations and stuff that go, and that's absolutely awesome and wonderful. But being a one-person moderator, it does get hard to go through and make sure I don't miss any questions. When you're having a conversation, just realize I'm not going to pull all your comments up and recognize you there just because we've got a great conversation going, and I want to make sure that we're paying full, or that myself is paying full attention to the guest and stuff. So if I don't pull your comment up, please don't feel slighted or offended or anything of that nature. I'm just trying to make sure that we do stay on topic here and that I don't miss anybody. So if you will, just please put those in all caps, just so I don't miss anyone. But again, appreciate you all so much. Thank you for your warm thoughts, Marianne, from all the way out there in Arizona. Miss Lori West, I was stuck at home until my neighbor got me out with this tractor. Secondary roads are bad there. Yeah, they're impassable here. I was able to get out for a minute yesterday, but I've heard that things have gotten so much worse tonight and today. So I'm fully expecting to be trapped in here probably through Sunday, maybe even Monday, because we've got some actually sub-zero temperatures that's coming up. And you're definitely welcome, Larry. I really enjoyed seeing the pictures and following along. And hello to you, Tony. Ghosts in the Valley up in Ohio. Great podcast right there. And as Brandon says, there's always room on Supernatural Inc. Network. I do appreciate that. We got some good mods and all that over there. So, all right. So couple rounds of business I want to make sure to hit right here on the Historic Scott County Jail Facebook page, as well as my personal page. We highlighted that we posted that we were highlighted on Tennessee Crossroads. If you're a Tennessee native, this is a show that's been around for 36 years now. It's kind of a staple in the community on National Public Broadcasting, and they came to the jail earlier this year, filmed and highlighted the Historic Scott County Jail True Crime Museum and Paranormal Research Center. Well, everybody's been waiting for it, and today that show officially aired at 8 p.m. tonight on Nashville Public Broadcasting Channel, and the Tennessee Crossroads Facebook page that is up on the on my personal page, as well as the jail's page. That link, I will share that here on the Ghost Biker page. It was a lot of fun filming that, and they did an amazing job. So hope you all will check that out. They actually played some of our paranormal evidence that was captured there, as well as some of the different stories that we have there at the jail. So it was a real true honor to meet Joe Elmore, who's been in the business for, over 35 years. And we were really excited about that. Susan says she watched the show in between tonight's shows. They did do an amazing job. And so I appreciate y'all watching. If you will, help us share it out there, because we're hoping that will help us spread the word of what we're doing and get the word out about our little jail over here in rural East Tennessee. So be on the lookout for that. We will be sharing that link. Also, book your paranormal investigation at the Historic Scott County Jail. That can be done on our website. All the dates are open for 2024, and it's booking like crazy right now. So if you're wanting to investigate, get on our calendar, and you can do that by either visiting historicscottcojail.com, or you can visit historyhighways haunts.com and find out about the great things that we're doing at the historic Scott County Jail and at the historic village of Rugby. Also, we do have a big announcement that we're going to be making about some expansion. We had hoped to be able to do that this week, but we weren't able to with the weather and all that crazy stuff going on, working out the logistics. So stay tuned for next Thursday night when we'll be making a really cool announcement about some expansion and some really cool opportunities and stuff that's going on. All right. So I want to make sure to get to tonight's guest because we've got a lot of great things going on. Let me get my links pulled up. There's whoops. Whoops, I had a bunch of messages coming through and there we go. Okay. So all that was pulling up while I was trying to find my notes here. Anyways, so I'm really excited about tonight's guest. I'm always excited about any guest that will come and spend time chatting with me tonight, but tonight's guest in particular, because I know she's got some really great things going on. My guest tonight is Miss Allie Krause. She is a promoter, author, model, and psychic intuitive from Madison, Wisconsin. She has worked extensively in the music industry and is now promoting paranormal events and music events together. She has 5 books on Amazon and enjoys writing poetry and short stories. She currently does tarot and psychic readings at Cosmic Delights in Madison, Wisconsin, and makes appearances at Silk and Still Boutique and Spellerific in I hope I say that right, Mount Horeb, Wisconsin. She has modeled for calendars, magazines, and promotional products. Allie is a jack of all trades, but is focusing on the paranormal community and plans to host several paranormal events in the future in Wisconsin and Illinois. And we're going to be talking about those events tonight. So if you will, please help me in welcoming Miss Allie Kay.
Hello.
Hey, Allie.
Hi.
Hey, thank you so much for coming on with me tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, I don't think I did you justice with your intro. So why don't you go ahead and kind of tell us a little bit more about yourself and
Sure.
some of your events you got coming up.
Well, it's a lot. Like you said, jack of all trades. So I have my hands in a few different pots. I model. I do promotional modeling, and I do, like, I don't know what you call it, charity kind of modeling. Where
Okay.
like Wounded Warriors, I model for their calendars. I've done multiple magazines and that kind of thing. Um, Music promotion, I just kind of like warped my business, which was Allie K Music, into Allie K Promotions. But I've been doing that for almost 11 years.
Wow.
So
Okay.
many shows around Madison. I mean, the Red Zone, the Frequency, which is no longer, unfortunately, the Inferno, which is no longer, but most of that crowd went to Crucible.
Okay.
And now I'm kind of, now that I got the music industry down, I've merged into the paranormal, which I'm a psychic intuitive. So that's, makes me very happy.
Yeah, it's
To
kind
be
of a
able
natural fit.
to,
It sounds like.
yeah. I'm very excited about it. My first show is February 18th at Crucible in Madison, and we're doing a vendor fair with psychics, mediums, speakers. We got Scotty Rourke, who is a Madison, Wisconsin favorite in the paranormal. We got Larry
Hmm.
and Dan, and they're going to be Larry's doing a paranormal 101 workshop, and Dan is doing a dowsing rods workshop where if you purchase that particular workshop, you get a free pair of dowsing rods. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
And then we're doing an after party at 7:30 with 3 of our local bands. Yeah. So that's the first of many, but it's a good kickoff. And I have books on Amazon, so yeah, I'm just kind of busy.
I love it. I love it. And so we're sharing, I've got the links there in the show notes, and
Yeah.
then I've also got the links there in the comments section. So, guys, definitely go check out the event. I mean, you guys have had a great response rate
Yeah.
already from folks. Now, are you pre-selling tickets to that, or is that something that folks purchase at the door?
I am. There's 2 options. The pre-sales are cheaper. So, for instance, there's a couple different price points so it's
Okay.
hard to. So if you're just wanting to do the vendor fair and the workshops and the speaking event, that will be, I think it's 12 at the door, 15 or no, 12 pre-sale, 15 at the door.
Mhm.
So yeah, you save a few bucks if you want to do like both the after party, which is in the same location. So the vendor fair goes till 6, and then we have a little switch over, and we
Mhm.
do the after party, which a lot of the speakers and people, like almost all of them, I think, are gonna be at the after party and hanging out and talking to people. So might be
I
a
love
good,
that.
yeah. But
Yeah.
if you yeah, the tickets are on Brown Bag Tickets. They're also under Alley K Promotions or the event. There's places to click because you got the vendor fair, the after party, you got workshops, so those can
Mhm.
all be purchased separately or in one big group where you save quite a bit of money doing it that way.
Okay, and so I'm looking at the list here because you all have all that spelled out there. Um, so the investigation is that so that's after the after party.
The investigation is been adjusted a bit, but the workshops are
Okay,
no. So it would go during the day. So the
okay,
um, either way, it'll be until 6 p.m. The after party is just after party. It's a
okay.
Sunday, so we're trying not to make it too late.
Yeah. No, actually, I really like that because with my Ghost Biker events, I partner with Harley Davidson a lot, and we always make sure to have music vendors there, which I think adds so much. And I love it when places do investigations, but I love your idea with this of combining something a little bit different because it really gives it an opportunity to spotlight those vendors to get people to
Yeah,
come in and then really get that time to meet and greet and hang out with the people at the after party rather than an investigation which has a totally different feel to it whenever
exactly.
they
Yeah,
have that combined with the with the
yeah.
events.
And I have 12 vendors. None of them are repetitive. It's all different things. So there's
Nice.
no, you know, walking into a different, everybody's got something of their own unique talent to
Yeah.
present. Then Scotty's going to do, free to anybody at the vendor fair, is going to do a talk on mediumship. So, and he's also got this, it's called Ecto 22 or something like that. But it's a Ghostbusters van and it's fully equipped. Like, it's
Nice.
very cool. So he'll have that there. And then yeah, Larry and Dan doing their workshops and just a lot of really great people to meet if you're just, starting in the paranormal or been in it for a while. You're gonna meet psychics and, you know, all kinds of great people. So I'm
Are most
excited.
of the people Oh, I'm sorry, please go on.
No, I'm done.
No, I was just gonna say, are most of the people from your region up there in, Wisconsin and Illinois and that area?
Mhm. Not some, but yes, I think most. Yeah.
Okay.
Or around here. I have plans for a bigger show
Mhm,
in the very near future with
mhm.
also like national bands, national acts. So, and with that, like the band members are going to come hang out too, at the vendor fair. So it's going to be, kind of a mix of everybody. And
Nice.
yeah, so we got Ever Nor from Lacrosse, one of the bands, female fronted metal band. We got Squid
Nice.
Hammer from Madison. They've been established in here for a long time. And we have the Steelies. Yeah. So they're up and coming. They've been doing really good stuff around here. They work with WJJO. Um, and yeah, so I kept it to 3 and the
Yeah.
band started at 7:30. The doors open at 7 for that. Doors for the vendor fair and the paranormal expo open at noon.
Oh, nice, nice. And you answered Ronnie's question right there. Ronnie is actually a fantastic guitar player, plays there in Virginia. And so yeah, I really like that. It creates a great opportunity for cross promotion, bringing
And
m- two
for
different
Ronnie,
groups
they're
of people
rock
together.
bands mostly. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. Um, so yeah, that's gonna be a great time. And um where's the best way for people to find out about your different events that you've got coming up or that you will have
Um,
coming up?
Likely under my Allie K Promotions, which I gave
Okay.
you the link to that, and then just Allie Krause on Facebook. Yeah, so that's my website. So that's
Okay.
got the latest one, and I will keep that up to date for um, future shows or anything to do with the paranormal music mix. So yeah, and
Nice.
on
Nice.
Facebook, Allie K Promotions, and then Allie Krause on Instagram, Allie K Music Madison. Allie K
Mhm.
Music Madison. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and so let's kind of talk about your mediumship and
Sure.
how you got started with that.
Well, I am still growing the mediumship part, but I've been a psychic for ever. Like since I was a little girl, and my mom like saw that spark in me and nurtured that, and I'm very grateful for that. But I've been reading tarot cards or doing psychic readings in one way or another since I was about 15. Is when I like first started
Okay.
venturing out with that. Professionally, I've only been doing it for the last few years. It took
Okay.
a while to be able to,
Yeah.
learn certain things to be able to do that. But yeah, so now I do readings at Cosmic Delights in Madison. I frequent Silk and Steel Boutique up in Mount Horeb and sometimes Spellerific, but mostly Thursdays and Fridays I'm at Cosmic Delights now. So I do
Okay.
virtual readings too. But
Okay, that was gonna be my next question. I was gonna ask if somebody that, is not in the area, if they wanted to reach out to you, can you do virtual readings?
absolutely. And I can do virtual tarot, I can do virtual just psychic readings, I can do like questions pendulum readings. It actually works pretty well no matter what, even via camera. But yeah, and right now if you purchase a reading or a gift certificate, you get $5 off until January 30th. Yeah.
Okay. Now, if someone is in the area, is it best that they make an appointment with you at these locations, or is this a walk-in thing that they can do?
We at Cosmic Delights, there's walk-ins. You can also schedule online at cosmicdelights.com.
Okay.
Or you can give me a shout on Facebook Messenger, or I have a Allie K tarot reader psychic page too under my yeah. So Larry, I am very accurate. I've been doing this a long time. I found the medium that works for me, the medium, like
Mhm.
a good flow where I'm able
Yeah.
to give very accurate readings, which is a blessing.
Nice. Nice. And so Daryl says, how did you come about getting into the paranormal? Do you do investigations and such?
I do. I I guess I've always kind of been on and off in the paranormal. I learned very young that I could communicate with things I couldn't see, and so can a few other members of my family. So
Okay.
it was never like presented as very weird to me. So I kind of um as far as structuring that as an adult, like structuring that into what I'm doing now, that took some
Mhm.
work. It was, creating boundaries just like you would with
Yeah.
people, yes. But creating those boundaries. But it still gets tricky. The mediumship thing is a little bit trickier than the psychic thing, I guess for me. I do I'm planning to get, more education and
Mhm.
more mentorship in that and very soon, like a couple months. And yeah, but I've had some pretty crazy experiences for
Okay.
sure.
I'd like to talk about some of those experiences here in
Sure.
a second. But for anyone that maybe doesn't know, can you explain the difference between a psychic and a medium?
A psychic is, a person that is able to read in a way a person like predict things or
Okay.
see things. A medium is somebody who would talk to the dead, or so psychic is more for the a person, medium
Mhm.
more for the people that have passed.
Gotcha. And what a
probably
lot of people, I guess, what some people don't always understand is that there is a difference and that they're not always one and of the same.
no, they're not.
Yeah. Um, so can you talk about any of those interesting readings without necessarily going into,
Yeah.
uh,
I mean, I'm kind of like a therapist, so I keep the,
yeah,
confidentiality, metaphysical therapist or whatever. But
I like
um,
that.
yeah,
That
I
should be like a, title for someone, metaphysical therapist. Yeah.
um so yeah, I've had some intense, I mean, a lot of people that sit down and are looking for that exchange have gone through something or are looking for something. There's usually, a guidance through a dark time or a guidance towards something that, like a new beginning and a new life experience. Um, but I get a lot of tears. I get a lot of, I'm solutions based. So even if I'm not like doom and gloom. So if there's, a little bit of a rough patch that I'm seeing in this person's future or something they're navigating through or clinging to their past about, I try to keep on that path to come up with solutions, like create a fork in the road where it doesn't have
Yeah.
to go this way, but this is the way it's going to go if you don't do something. So it's more of yeah, just kind of a guidance. And for me, the cards, I know tarot cards very well. Um, they're a good guidance for me to guide my
Mhm.
gift for that person. And it seems to be working out pretty well. The pendulum is also, it's a good one, but it's, getting real close to a Ouija board
Yeah.
in a way. So, but so it can be, you're crossing a line with the psychic and the medium thing because things do get through and there are energies that are just waiting for that. So I usually keep it to about 3 questions on the pendulum.
Mhm.
But yeah, with tarot, it's without getting into too much. I had one come in the other day who was a psychic, and I
Mm.
love reading other psychics. It's really fun, and he couldn't figure out what he was wanting to do. And he is a tarot card reader, and he's gone to a lot of different places. And I just got like this thing. I'm like, you know what? I work at this place too, up in Mount Horeb, called Spellerific, and I think this is going to be a good fit for you. Like, go in there and talk to him and see if you can do some readings. And he did, and he's
Wow.
working there. So that's really cool. Um, I've been able to, I've had an older lady who lost her husband of like 30 something years. Um, and I was able to pick up on some things accurately about that. And it gave her a lot of relief, helping people. I feel like
Yeah.
when I'm able to break through a barrier and when somebody sits down, at my table and that's the exchange, like I don't read people without that, you know, it's
Yeah.
like an agreement and that opens up things for me. And yeah, I've been able to help so many people recently just through guidance or, um, yeah, a little bit of hope, a little
Do
bit of
you
care.
find Absolutely. Do you find that a lot of those folks that get a reading from you, that they kind of become regulars?
Well, yes and no. Yeah, there's been plenty of people that have come back. Um, the thing with that is I'm not a therapist.
Right.
I'm a metaphysical therapist. So I can give a guidance, but I'm not, if I'm reading cards, so I'm not there to give you professional therapy advice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that happens. But there is a waiver and everything where it's like
Mhm.
I can't give you actual therapist guidance. I
Right,
can
and
just
I would
tell you,
imagine that's
yeah,
a pretty big challenge,
it is.
with some people is that, you
Mhm.
know, because the cards are more if you're and please correct me if I'm wrong, if you're it's kind of if you change your path, that can totally change
Right.
your reading, and so I would imagine you probably get a lot of folks that would come in looking for guidance or looking at it in maybe a different way,
Sure.
and I would say that that's a challenge that you
Yeah.
would go through.
I
Mhm.
mean, and it's hard to tell somebody like, "Hey, I think you would really benefit from a therapist," without it sounding like you're crazy. And that, but I I have on occasion, and I don't think anybody's crazy. I just it
No, no. I know
look, you're going through really tough stuff. Here's your, your starter kit. Here's a guide. And
Mhm.
then from there, getting negative emotions out of your body is super important.
Yeah.
You need to get that out and get it out in a healthy way. And, a lot of people come from abusive backgrounds or, all kinds of walks of life that I
Mhm.
can only go so far with. So, and a lot of
Yeah.
times I have, an in where I can be like, hey, I think honestly everybody can benefit from therapy. it's,
Yeah.
it's not bad to have a neutral ground to bounce stuff off of, um but yeah, it's rewarding. I help people. I feel like I haven't had anybody take offense to me being like, look, this isn't my wheelhouse, but
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah. Well, and that's a sign of a strong person right there that can actually say, "This is not my wheelhouse," you
sure.
know? I think that's a strong sign, or I mean, a strong quality in someone.
Yeah.
Um, so, you know, Expedition Entity, great group of guys to work with.
Yep. Yep. Um I met them. Dan and Larry are amazing, and Larry and I are just that's my fiance now. So yeah, we yeah, they're on Paraflix. They've been there. They're one of the original shows. They're
Mhm.
amazing. They've seen a lot of different things. I'm going in with, Larry's a historian, and he's everything that has to do with cameras and that kind of thing. He knows how to do. Dan is a psychic, a medium, or medium, yeah.
Okay.
Um, so they're amazing, and I've had the pleasure of watching them work and being able to work with them a little bit, and very, very cool what they can do.
Yeah, so, I know, Larry says Dan's an empath.
Oh, well,
Um
psychic. It's a honey. Empath.
There you go. Now, now will we possibly be seeing some Allie K on some of, the episodes?
I have been on a few of their lives, but yeah, I'll be around. We'll be doing stuff together for sure.
Nice, nice. I know that's one of the questions that a lot of folks ask from our investigators is if they have, um, psychics or mediums that, they work with,
Mhm.
and, is that something that you're commonly asked to do from different paranormal teams?
I've had a few inquiries. I'm not quite where I want to be yet to be able to do that. Like it's very draining. I get
Yeah.
attachments, like I'm navigating that. But in the next short while, while I'm getting some guidance from, other people that have been doing this forever, world renowned psychics,
Mhm.
I I'll have a better tuning fork for that so that I don't get quite as attacked because I get attacked. And I think it's a
Can
psychic.
can you talk about that a little bit more? Because, I know, I'm a solo investigator, and I have on a couple occasions worked with, psychics or mediums on some particularly darker cases that I've done. Can you talk a little bit about some of the risks and stuff? Because I think sometimes people don't always realize just what that role entails whenever I think they think they have a medium or a psychic that's gonna come and either try to validate or, pick up on things that maybe the tools aren't picking up on, but there's also kind of a bigger, broader side to that.
Mhm. I mean, being a psychic or medium, I mean, we're kind of well aware that we're opening up something in us to read those, beyond normal senses. Um, and that can open us up to attacks. I think an important thing to do if you're investigating anything is to make it very clear that nothing can come with you. I mean, and even then sometimes it happens, but making that like declaration, before you leave a place seems to be kind of powerful. The I guess I wouldn't take like a pendulum or a Ouija board into any place that had any kind of dark entity in it, or
Mhm.
it's just that's opening up to a whole lot of things because things can come with it. Even if you're not talking to a dark entity, things can come with it. Um,
Absolutely.
but even with that said, I mean, there's times where I got kind of overrided while I was in that stance. One time I was at a place, um, it was an Al Capone haunt, and
Mm.
there's a pole in the basement where, Al Capone would gamble there, and if somebody cheated him, he'd take him down there, beat him up. Rumors are killed some people, but there is like the original pole, sand around the pole, and a little bit of like blood-ish looking stuff all over.
Okay.
And I was well aware when I went down there, like, don't touch the pole. That's like was an obvious rule, and I had no problems with that. So I went down there and I just kind of like it's like I got like a head rush and I bleeped out for a minute. When I came to, my hand was firmly placed on the pole.
Wow.
So that was weird. Like I don't even like I think back on that, I'm like, I'm not really sure what happened there. Like it was like a magnet.
Wow.
Unfortunately, that led to I started throwing up and I couldn't stop throwing up.
Okay.
And every time I closed my eyes, I saw faces, I'm talking detailed faces of people. I ended up having to go to the emergency room for that. And I'm not the only one. This has happened to um, since I researched a little bit more about that. Like a few people had that same experience, same place.
Wow. So how
Yeah,
does that end up, how is that emergency room visit? Is that,
I couldn't stop throwing up. Like I couldn't stop throwing up. And there was like nothing left to throw up. I mean, it was 8, 9 hours of just, like nonstop. Yeah, I've never had anything like that. So yeah, I couldn't get the nausea down, so I went in. And I even told him like, I think I ghost guy. Okay, you didn't even sound surprised. I'm like, okay, so this happens, I guess. Um, but yeah, that was a weird one. I've had like scratches. I've had attachments that they're like energy draining, but more like they put images in your head, and like the closing your eyes and seeing faces. That's a big one.
yeah.
But I had one that I had to see a shaman about not too long ago, um, and just get a little extra oomph. And I've had attachments not knowing it and gone into places, and then those ghosts like were like kicking me out. So that happened. Uh, so there's a lot of things that can happen. Like you don't know what you're dealing with all the time. You know,
Mhm.
people to things that were never people to, all kinds of things. But everything wants to get through. It wasn't at the
I'm
Congress.
sure.
No,
Okay.
it was Old Bear Buin actually. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Um, yeah, I would imagine at times it's almost like getting, bum rushed when you come in somewhere, just everybody wants to be heard. And if they know that you can hear them or see them, is that your primary way? Do you see things? Um,
I don't, not like visually. I see things,
okay.
but it's like in my
Okay.
brain.
So you
It's like
know.
I feel like touch, and I
Okay.
feel like I can sense. The
Okay.
kind of feeling where you don't have to see somebody when somebody walks in a room behind
Mm-hmm.
you to know that they're
Mm-hmm.
coming in. That's how it feels. It's
Okay.
sometimes I can see stuff. There's been a few instances where there's been definite visual, 100% visual, but not
Wow.
always. Not
Wow.
always.
Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting life for sure.
For sure, and that's really cool that your family was supportive of that, but I'm sure if they also have those spiritual gifts, I would imagine that they would be supportive.
Yeah, yeah. They have my sisters and my mom, they have like endless stories of me and different ghosts. I think that I was able to see them. I can't remember now, but when I was little, smaller, I was able to see
Mhm.
them way more, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm trying
Um,
to see what I can do with the mediumship thing and
I love that. I love that. There's always room for growth, and that's really cool that you're, you know, taking classes, talking to people, and learning really how to hone and develop that skill.
it's like a muscle, you gotta exercise it. I think everybody's got a little bit of that in them. You know, you just but yeah, you kinda gotta stay fit with it.
For sure, absolutely. So you're an accomplished author. You've got what, 5 books?
I do. Yep. I'm on Amazon. I have I write mostly poetry, but not all poetry. I have 2 ghosty books. I guess Spectres is poetry about haunted places, and then
Okay.
Beneath the Floorboards is not poetry. That's more like it's a haunted house with all kinds of stuff going on in it. Um, excuse me. It's going to be a series. I'm going to keep writing about this particular house, and it's not real. Like it
Okay.
is and it's not. Like it's I yeah, there's a place that's kind of real, but yeah, it's I don't know, it's Scary Stories in the Dark if you're familiar with that. It's kind of like a short
Yeah.
spooky story kind of thing, but the only difference is like this all plays into the same place and like the ghosts that are there and other things. But
Okay.
so that's a non-poetry book. The rest of my books are poetry as of now.
Okay. I'm going to pull those up. So bear with me as I go through here and pull those up. The other one that Allie mentioned here was Spectres. Let me
That's the first
get
book I wrote.
this. Okay.
And that's a
Um,
kind of a series, actually. There's
okay.
3 books in that, um, but they're all different. So Spectres is ghosts, Real Monsters is serial killers, and then there's Demons Inside, which are more like psychological terrors. And the 3 of them together are the romanticized Musings of Madness. And yeah, but you can buy them individually. So, but they're a
Nice.
part set.
Nice. And pulling all these up here. And so I'll also put the links here in the comments section because we love supporting our content creators. And, you know, I've got such a great group that follows the page that loves
Awesome.
reading stories and books and following our people. I mean, these guys are amazing. So definitely, like I say every week, support our content creators because a lot of
Yeah.
work and effort goes into this.
Yeah, but yep, they're all available on Amazon. I do have a hard copy of all 3 of the first ones I was talking about, the poetry books, in one. And
Okay.
yeah, otherwise they're pretty cool individually, you know, different covers and everything. But and then
Yeah.
Beneath the Floorboards, and my latest one I put out this summer was um, Against the Odds of Oblivion. There we go. And that's more personal than any of the other
Okay.
ones. And I have been writing, and I'm hoping that I will have something out by spring, summerish. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And my computer is not wanting to
Oh,
cooperate with me. So everything is it's pulling them up in separate windows as I go through. So I was hoping to be able to cycle through them, but yeah, we'll definitely put these links in here.
great.
And Larry, ever supportive here, highly recommends your books. And he says that
Okay.
working on a love poem book.
Ooh la la. I am, yeah. I feel like I've written a lot of dark stuff, So I'm trying to put something out that's a little like, hey. Love
I
and
like that though, and it's always cool to be able to kind of flex that muscle and be able to do that. Um, now, let's see. I saw a question here, and I want to make sure. Nancy Weems says, "How do you clear your senses and mind?"
Uh, I mean, I think everybody's got their own rituals for that. I'm an elements person, so
Okay.
water, is the easiest,
Mhm.
showering, bathing,
Mhm.
uh, making like a mental space. I'll take 5 minutes to think about something, that's like in front of me that I'm looking forward to,
Mhm.
and not let any other thoughts, like training your brain to make it think what I want it to think. So
Yeah.
if stuff starts coming back in, then I have to start over. So that's kind of like one of my cleansing things. I like incense. I like smelly stuff. I
Mhm.
think it's an intention set.
Yeah.
It's a but water for me is kind of like my submerging in water is my thing that I do.
Nice, nice, and it's always interesting to see everybody's different ways that they do things because it is so personal
It is.
to them. Um, and I don't wanna put you on the spot or anything, but, we were talking about accuracy of readings and stuff. Would you be able to do a reading for me?
Right now, I don't have my cards or anything.
Alright.
I
Well
I could
well,
try.
like I said, I don't wanna put you on the spot or anything like that, but
Well, I could probably do something brief,
okay. Okay.
but any particular questions you have?
Hmm. Now I'm putting myself on the spot too, because I
You don't have to. I could just like take a look. Maybe wet my whistle.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, like I have people. They can either tell me uh, questions that they have, or I just kind of do a reading. Um,
Just kinda go for a reading. That'd be fine. Yeah.
I'll do a real brief one. Otherwise,
Sure.
we'll go for hours.
Yeah.
Um, I can sense that you have lost someone close to you that has opened up. You're looking for answers, and that's really sparked why you started doing what you're doing. You've had this needing to know sense for, you know, a while now. But and the more you see things, the more you're able to kind of point towards the direction um, that you're trying to go. I'm sensing a male, maybe that you lost,
Mhm. Yeah.
someone that's around you still, and you've kind of just it's like a passion. You know when we find something, it's like you have to. I have to. That's I'm feeling the magnetism there. Um, you like to understand other people's journeys too, but you also don't want to offend people. You don't want to like cross boundaries too much. So you don't always ask questions. And now you're just to the point where you're looking to see it for yourself. And um, I think that you do have some guidance from somebody that is watching you all the time. Um, and that I think that you know that, and it means everything to you.
Yeah.
It's, it's important. So,
Very
so
much.
keep doing that.
Thank
You're
you.
on the right.
That was I love
It's
that. That was, yeah,
for,
pretty spot
for
on. Well, thank you. Like I said, I didn't wanna put you on the spot or anything like that.
well, thank you for letting me read a little bit.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's that Nancy's exactly right, feathers.
Nice.
It's kind of
Yeah.
interesting, and I'll share a photo, that I actually snapped yesterday because we're in the middle of, um, pretty big winter storm for this area. We don't get a whole lot in this area, and, I'm sending this to myself because obviously it doesn't really let me pull up here from my phone. But I do. I've ever since my dad passed, whenever I get whenever I'm going down a path or whenever I'm trying to figure out what I need to be doing, especially if I'm kind of struggling with, a direction or big decisions. Um, and I'm focusing on something, I tend to find feathers. And I always stop and I look at what am I going through? What am I thinking? What am I doing when I find this feather? And there's always, it's always when I've got something on my mind with a direction. And yesterday I was walking, I live here on my grandparents' old farm, remodeled it and everything. And so, like I said, we have a pretty significant snowstorm at this point. And so last night when I was walking from the barn up here to the house, I found this feather. I had a lot on my mind and I found this feather in the snow.
It's funny you're saying that because I have a collection of feathers that
Uh-huh.
I like that I've had drop on me when I was in haunted places. So
Yeah, and, I even had that happen when I was out at, the Fairmont in South Dakota. We were literally standing in a doorway, and this feather just falls out of the doorway,
very
and
interesting.
yeah, we find these in places that, you might not expect, like, we found one in the, kitchen there at the jail. I mean, obviously, walking down the road, you may see a feather, but I thought this was kind of odd
Yeah,
because it was in the middle of the snow, and I just happened to look down, and I was like, "Wait a minute,"
yeah,
Um, and like Daryl says, he says, "I believe you found a feather here at
yeah,
Clover Hill." Is
yeah.
investigating there at Clover Hill and, found a feather, so that's something always heard it, and after, my dad passed away, it without fail, it
Yeah.
happens, and, I always stop, I always think about it, and,
He's
m
definitely still with you, but I'm sorry for your loss.
oh,
And
thank you. Thank
but
you.
I sense that that was like immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is. It's a comforting thing, and it's also, my dad was also a science teacher, and,
Okay.
he was in chemistry and physics, and so it's the validation part, because he and I would sit and talk about this stuff all the time, and
Right.
so, if anyone is gonna show me that validation, it's him, so,
Yeah.
so no, I definitely appreciate that.
Okay.
Um, so we're getting here close to the top of the hour. And like I said, we've talked about your event. I'm just going to go ahead and make sure to pull your event information back up here because want to make sure that everyone knows how they can get in touch with you and do go to this event. So um, let me find it right here and I'll pull it up. And again, like I said, we've got the link there in the show notes, but we'll also make sure to put it there in the comments so that everyone can find it really easy. So go ahead, plug your pages again, plug where they can find your books
Definitely.
and
Books, Amazon, Facebook, Alley K Promotions. There's links under Allie Krause or Larry or Dan or Expedition Entity. You can find them out there, but it's the Madtown Paranormal Expo and Vendor Fair, and this is the first annual. So I plan on doing this exact one in, like keeping it small and every year. And then I'll also be doing much bigger events in the future too.
nice, nice.
Yeah,
And like I said, y'all definitely go check out her pages, follow along because you're definitely going to want to be a part of some of these events. Now, if somebody was interested in being one of the vendors, do you have like a an all call out for that sort of thing, or is it kind of an
Um,
invitation?
for this one, I haven't. I'm booked now for vendors completely. But in the future shows, I'm gonna have many more vendors than I have right now. Like I'm kind of keeping a little powwow at the moment.
Mhm.
So just to kick off this um, event thing, the annual event. I plan
Mhm.
on having one. I'm hoping in September, and that will be larger with more. I'm hoping to have about 100 vendors if I can. That's
Nice.
my
Nice.
so in that case, then yes, I'll have to do a call. Um,
Nice.
I'm expecting it'll go well. I still
Mhm.
don't want too many repeat vendors,
Yeah.
but there will likely be a few, like at the next one. This one, no. You're gonna see something different every time.
Well, there's something to be said about a smaller, more intimate event.
Mhm.
Keep the and I like the diversity and variety because it keeps from having the competition between the vendors and stuff, and it gives people a really cool opportunity to go out and
Yeah.
not
Yeah. And
have that
I
repetitiveness.
yeah, I want to offer like different types, like the intimate event, and then I get to
Mhm.
offer like the big event, where I need more
Yeah.
vendors. So
Yeah.
it's just the first one. So if you wanted to be a vendor, don't be discouraged because we have plenty for you coming up.
Absolutely. So, guys, go check out Allie K Promotions and check out her website, check out her Facebook page, check out her Amazon page there with her books, and show some support. We really appreciate that.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Allie. Thank you guys
Thank
so much over
you.
there in the chat room for your questions and your comments. Want to make sure to just highlight an event that I'm going to be a part of that's coming up here very, very soon. It's going to be coming up on February 17th. It goes from 6 p.m. to midnight. And just a few weeks ago, I had Greg, TJ Justice, as well as JB Coates, who is a very accomplished author, and Justin Hayes. We had the Boo Crew. We had them on the show. They were talking about their different events that they were promoting. Actually, that was the first show of the season that we had. And this event, I was part of their event that they had there at the Hotel Metropolitan, which was Harleys and Harlots. This time it's going to be the Bonnie and Clyde Ride or Die Murder Mystery Dinner and Ghost Hunt that's going to be taking place at the Thomas House Bed and Breakfast, which is in Red Boiling Springs, Tennessee. And you can come, you can be part of the murder mystery dinner as well as the ghost hunt. There's a lot of different packages. You can do all of it and spend the night there at the very, very haunted Thomas House Bed and Breakfast, or you can come and just be part of one of the events. And I know I did not participate in the murder mystery that they did there at the Hotel Metropolitan last year, but just seeing the way that the people got into costume and got involved with the events, it was a lot of fun. And so I think that this is not going to be any different. And I mean, who doesn't love Bonnie and Clyde? And I know that JB Coates was working on some really cool swag and stuff that is going to pertain to bikers like myself and paranormal investigators. So just going to come just for the swag. I mean, it's pretty cool. So, so this event they are selling tickets. I believe they're selling tickets at the door, but your best bet is going to be to excuse me, to get in on it early there. The tickets are through Ticket Leap, and it is Paranormal Adventures event company. So, again, very excited to be invited to be a part of this event. Um, seems like people that go to these events, they like to travel and go continuously because they have so much fun at them. So check it out, February 17th, 6 p.m. to midnight. And the information, I will have the link posted there. But again, very excited to be a part of that. And I did see a comment up here. I did want to make sure that I did address that. I don't know if she's still on there, but Deb says, any chance I'll be in Gettysburg in June for the Mid-Atlantic Women's Motorcycle Rally? I'm hoping so. I'm not 100% sure. I know I'm going to be in Gettysburg in July for the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. I will be speaking at that, but I would love to be up there for the Mid-Atlantic Women's Rally. I'm trying to work on an event with Pam Berry on and the Harley Davidson up there to actually have a Ghost Biker event up there. So I've got to get with Pam and see if we can work something out, see if her schedule's not too booked. But Deb, if you're still on, which I hope you are, we'll definitely be on the lookout because I would love to get more information and get a motorcycle event going up there, especially a motorcycle paranormal event. Great. Thank you, Deb. And I look forward to seeing you there at the bash. So, but hopefully we can get something worked out there with Harley Davidson and Pam up there. So, but unless there's any more questions or anything, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. Next week, let me double check here. I want to make sure that I tell you guys right, because we've definitely got a full packed schedule. Next week, there will not be a show because I was invited to be a guest on the Beyond the Tinfoil Hat podcast, and that is with magician Danny Whitson. We've had him on the show before. I've been on his show, Abracadam, and it's a lot of fun. He's started a new podcast that's got some, it's supernatural magic, a lot of really cool things going on. So that will be at 8 p.m. Eastern time next week. He invited me to be on the show several months ago. And so I wanted to make sure that since our schedules are kind of around the same time on Thursday nights between the Jailhouse Informant and also this show, we will be only doing that show next week. So I'll have all the information on that so you can tune in and hopefully join us there in the comments section. So so until then, hope everyone has a wonderful night. And Larry, yeah, I'd love to get up your all's way. And
That'd be great.
so yeah, keep me posted. I'd love to make it up there. It was so cool to get to meet Larry and Dan in person and work with them on a project. So I have nothing but huge respect for those guys, and hopefully we can get them back on my show here in the next couple months as well. So
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me.
absolutely. Thank you, Allie, and you have a great night.
You too. Bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.